And here we are, Sunday night, with
Beautiful.
two lovely ladies who I am blessed to be sharing a different time zone than.
We've
We're
got
really,
3 time zones going right now.
yeah, we're really covering the different zones. Daphne is in Edmonton, Alberta, and Lindsey,
I'm in
where are you from, sweetie? No.
Destin, Florida.
What more time?
Destin, Florida.
Oh my goodness.
Just off the beach.
Florida, right?
Florida.
Makes me
Destin, Florida. Can you hear me?
hear you. Yeah, we can hear you. Well, and just the word Florida makes me sigh. You know, it's so sandy. Sand and warmth and all those wonderful things. Now, you've done a lot to get yourself to that place. Were you born in Florida?
No, I was in Oklahoma, Virginia for 22 years. Vegas for 20 years. I lived in Florida the last 2 years.
Do you have a headset, Lindsey? Could you plug a headset in your phone?
I don't have one.
Hmm.
Can y'all hear me?
It was getting a little bit
It's okay.
muffly, jaggedy a bit.
Okay. Maybe. Yeah, I don't have
There you go.
I don't have the earbuds. It was probably the background music.
Maybe.
Is that
And I mean,
better?
that's better. And here we go. We're learning, right? Earbuds for next.
So do you want to tell us again where you lived and all that? Because we only caught half of it.
Oh, can y'all hear me now?
There we go. So I heard Vegas. Where did you first, when you were born, where did you land?
In Florida, and I lived in Nevada for 18 to 20 years, and I just moved to Destin, Florida the last 5 years. It took me a while to get here because I was a really long time. So I was through the whole world. And finally made it back to Florida 20 like belong.
I got every second word. Did you, Daph? Same thing. Like, oh my God, I feel so awful.
Can y'all hear me now?
And you know what? Here we are. Better.
I could hear you now. Like it's funny. You start talking and we can hear what you're saying, and then it maybe it's the speed. I don't know.
I'll have to hold my phone. I think that I have a defect in my phone, and so whenever it sits down on a platform, it might hang underneath the volume because the speakers are down on the bottom of the phone. So that would make this
exactly it, because now it's working beautifully.
Okay.
So
now it's 100%.
I'll just hold my phone up. Home.
Well, because I think that there you go. Well, because any of us who seek adventure in our lives, we don't just get it. It doesn't just magically appear into life. You've got to prepare for adventure.
Mm-hmm.
And the things that brought you to this wonderful place where here you are in Florida, you're living on the beach, everything turned out perfectly in your life to get you there.
Right.
Is that correct?
Well, I manifested it when I was very sick.
There we go.
So that's what happened.
So Lindsey, why don't you tell us about what happened, what you were doing before you got sick? Because it's all about the adventure, and your life is a big adventure. I know this because you're a friend of mine. And so do you want to start at the beginning?
Yeah, well, I've had quite a career. I've had 2 successful careers. So when I graduated from high school, I decided I wanted to go to the Art Institute of Houston and be an interior designer. So I went to a vocational school. It was very expensive at the time. And there were 29 of us that started in school. And I was one of 4 people that graduated with honors from Art Institute of Houston, got an internship with 3DI, hoovering for a top architectural firm in Houston, Texas. And I declined to take a job from them because I wanted to work for my parents' company and I wanted to work for my dad for Commercial Furniture Services Incorporated. So off to work I went for him, and my cat just jumped over something and just knocked down something. Did y'all hear that? And so anyway, a great career started, and really worked there, you know, through school and stuff as a receptionist and librarian and cataloging, and then the design department and inside sales, outside sales, and then executive sales. And yeah, I had a very, very, very successful, very flourishing career in commercial furniture and incorporated interior design into it. So I was a modular cubicle unit specialist. Y'all know those cubicle stations in like the dentist offices and car. Yeah. So I was a whiz, and we were a dealer for over 300 manufacturers. My mom and my dad and my mom. My dad was the business. My mom did the accounting. They were an amazing, dynamic team. They actually met on an airplane and got married 10 days later. And I was 6 years old. So my daddy got us little wedding rings. So this is how this whole relationship started with the family business. We were like all married in the business. And then fast forward, during my tenure of my professional career, you know, my background was cheerleading, and I just had aspirations to just jump around. And I saw this flyer for a fitness competition, tried out for the Miss Texas USA, was first runner up, got my national invite, and the rest is history. It started a whole different career, a whole different path. I was still, of course, with CFSI, met somebody, got engaged, moved to Las Vegas. That's how it got me to Vegas. Dove myself into fitness and health, instructing and teaching. And, you know, was a 2-time national Miss Fitness USA, and I was top Miss Fitness USA, you know, in the nation out of 139 women. And so this whole new career started, got certified in health and fitness, got contracts throughout the city of Henderson, started literally from like almost a 6-figure job to like nothing, $25 a week, banging down doors, trying to get contracts, and finally landed contracts throughout the city of Las Vegas and Henderson, and signed up with modeling agencies like at 33, very late in my life. And I had short hair, really blonde, like a bobtail, very signature style hairdo. And yeah, blondes were in, and man, I was booked, and I got into trade shows and product demonstrating, product specialist, lead generator, a live MC. I mean, you name it, I did it. I was flying all across the nation on billboards, commercials, infomercials. I mean, it was crazy. Yeah. So it was very, very hard though, like being an entrepreneur and teaching like 18 classes a week and doing all this other stuff. And anyhow, along the way, I got sick, and I knew I had something going on, but we didn't know what it was. And I had breast implants, and I went in to have them removed and replaced, and I didn't want them replaced. And I'll never forget, my doctor said, "You won't be happy." And I'm like, you know, I was a birth congenital breast patient with one breast smaller than the other side, you know, and it was just a very big secret. And long story short of it is, I went into surgery and came out gravely ill, and it was horrible. Just, it's so crazy. So it was cross-contamination of infected breast implant with MRSA site of surgery. So I was really sick. And so for the last 6 years, I've been in and out of infectious disease care, and it literally knocked me off my path of my career in Las Vegas, Nevada. But I had the best team at UMC Trauma Center. I could not have asked for better students to overcarry me, incredible microsurgeons over me. And I had 2 back-to-back emergency surgeries, and it just knocked me off my career of my stage. So when I was in the hospital, I dreamt of being at the beach And I just manifested the thought and planted the seed and just saw myself speaking and coaching and writing and sharing my story. And it literally happened. I mean, I'm here in Destin, Florida. I got a Jeep. I moved to the beach. Manifested love. I haven't really found that yet, working on it, but I really manifested this dream of writing my story. And I've shared 2 chapters in 2 separate books that just went international bestseller. So yeah, and I got coached, I'm like, hey, if I'm going to go back on the stage and do all of this and be like third career coming up, which I'm not going to say that. I just really feel as a leader and as somebody who can aspire to inspire other people from illness to wellness, as a coach and as a speaker and a everyday girl with an everyday dream and story of just recovery to rediscovery, then I'm going to latch my hip onto an amazing program. And I got John Maxwell certified for coaching and speaking. So I'm like back into like, what the heck's going on, and just leading and following and leaning in. And it's just been really an amazing, it's really blown my mind. It's actually brings tears to my eyes. We can manifest anything that we bring to our minds. And, this has been really a tough journey for me. And I don't think people know that. They look at me and they think every day, wow, she's so beautiful and she's sunshiny personality inside and out, like beautiful. That's what I mean. And they have no idea the hardest journey of my life that I just went through. And that virus almost took me down. I mean, that created a lot of paranoia in the brain. And so just to re-navigate to God, to source, universe, and
Gus,
yes, God, the universe and source, and God, my faith in God. Like I was living inspired literally through faith in my fitness lifestyle to get here. It's just mind blowing. And, I was sitting here thinking today, I'm getting here on this talk with them tonight. What are we going to talk about? Here we are talking about this. This is crazy. But I'm just, I'm no different than anybody out in the world. I focused in on what I wanted and I manifested it. And this is a real expensive place to get here. And by the grace of God, I'm here, and I'm so grateful. I thank God every day, and still just manifesting through the things that I want to bring into fruition. And we reap what we sow, and we ignite in our lives what we see and what we believe. And these affirmations, we really need to stick with it. It's really amazing. What you think about, you bring about. And that's laying in that hospital bed. All I dreamt about, chewing on that straw, I can just remember sitting there with my leg crossed. Doctor, just put on that prescription, gone to the beach and never coming back. So
Perfect.
It's crazy because look, I mean, I've got a turtle. I'm at my desk. I visualize me having a desk on the golf course, writing a book, this open floor space plan. We had it renovated. Like sometimes I just sit here in awe, like it's so surreal. And you hear these stories where people are like, I manifested this. And you're like, did you really? No. Yeah, I really did.
it's all about the adventure.
Yeah, but I really manifested wellness. And, I think that's just incredible because there's so many sick people in the world, and you really can heal yourself. And you know that, Daphne, from your near-death experience too. And I mean, my goodness. And so we've all like kind of bonded with these life-changing experiences. So it's really been bittersweet. I mean, this has been a challenging year, but I'm just like sitting here kind of growing and leaning into the last 2 months of like, what have I accomplished this year? What have I not? Wow. I mean, but I just need a moment to like kind of collect myself, because I'll be honest, I feel a little overwhelmed. Like I feel the pressure on me to produce now this amazing book that I'm like in the middle of writing, but it'll come. What we fear the most comes upon us, and we just have to cancel it out and just forward is forward. So,
Nancy, you're on the adventure of writing your memoir as well.
Yeah, I've been writing solid. I've got a lot. Now I'm starting to chew it into smaller bits and pieces. Writing for me is easy, and I write a lot. So now it's about taking what I've written and trying to figure out what goes in the first book, because I've probably written enough for 3 books already. writing it's like breathing for me, and I truly, truly love it. But I find that once we get back onto a path where life is starting to feel good again, that it does get harder.
Yeah.
The challenges start coming. As soon as we start closing chapters in what no longer makes us happy, what no longer serves us, then more doors start to open, and then there's more to be done. It doesn't necessarily get easier, but when we start flowing with everything, we go with ease. By the grace of God, I go. The doors open, the right people show up at the right time. So, do you plan, like, what do you do to stabilize your life so that you're able to be ready for the next adventure?
Is that question for me?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Well, first and foremost, I always pray because God's with me wherever I am. And the minute that I wake up, like I have to go to Him, I have to go to my faith and I have to go to Him. And then the next thing is, my mindset, manifesting it. And yeah, it can be kind of a challenge, but, you make your things to do list and you sit down and you just do it, and I love Daphne's book, You Do You. So what I'm just doing me. And I was saying that a lot today, like you do you, Lindsey. And, like looking at some of these questions y'all were going to ask me. And I'm like, I don't know, I guess it'll come to me. But, somebody said to me one time, Lindsey, you just do things on the whim. I will say, I will give that a lot of merit. And I do a lot of things on the whim. And I will tell you why. I'm my most creative and my most inspired when I don't feel pressured to do something at a particular time of day and date to get something done. Like my mind's going 90 to nothing. And so I'm collectively carrying my thought process in my brain. Like I know what I'm going to do the next day, and it gets done. Now I will say this, to really get stuff done, we need to time manage our time, right? So I really sit down and I write down detailed things the night before. I'm starting to get better at that so that I can really manifest it for the next day. And that's what I just started doing. And, surprisingly, I'm getting a lot more accomplished.
An agenda for the day definitely helps. I've begun setting deliberate intentions for my day and my week.
Yes.
I've got an accountability coach. I've got an accountability partner.
Yes.
And it's a challenge because when I first considered having an accountability coach, I'm like, not a chance. I don't need to be accountable to anybody but myself. And
No,
then it was like same with me. I could hear Daphne's voice, like, well, how's that working for you?
I know, no, you do have to write it down. And I would tell listeners right now, if they're listening to this, like, what can they get out of this? You do need to write down what you see in your mind. You do need to jot down those dreams that you have. I always I'm writing into it right now, like a little journal book. It's so important to have something by your bedside. So if you wake up at 1 a.m, instead of texting that person, which I've been doing a lot lately, like it's really bad, write in the book. Do not call somebody or text them at 1 a.m. Write in your book, write down what it is, because our brains are so filled with so much during the course of a day that sometimes we're in like relapse for the night. We wake up, oh yeah, I forgot to do that, right?
Mhm.
But I think it is deliberate intention, writing down your intentions, manifesting what it is you want. You can't only just see it and believe it, you got to write it down, and you have to really keep reiterating that, like reread it every day. It's like an affirmation that's like a sticky note, like right there every day for you to see. And I do that a lot, but most of mine is in my mind. When I have thoughts and stuff and I can really see it and I can feel it with my entire vibration of my heart, soul, and body, man, the sky's the limit. I mean, it is unlimited, because it's like, whoa, all this stuff is going to happen. And then it comes true. And I'm like, holy cow, did that happen? Yes, it did. We are so powerful. We really, 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 really are. I don't think people give themselves enough credit. God said, I am one in you, and you are one in me. So when I had my near death experience, that's what he said at the end of my bed. I am one in you, and you are one in me. Did you know it's a scripture in the Bible too, y'all? I didn't really know this. I don't really read a lot in the Bible, but I looked it up. It's John 17:13. What is that noise?
That's the laser that just
Oh,
beat.
heck, I thought that was me. Are you doing a laser treatment on me?
I'm sending
You
the miracle.
better.
I'm sending the miracle vibration
Oh my gosh,
to
this is
everybody.
incredible. I didn't even know that. Thank you for not telling me that ahead of time. I would have been really excited.
Daph always runs whenever Daphne and I do a live. Daph's always got that running in the
Oh my
background.
gosh. Well, no wonder. I'm like, where's all this energy coming from? I was
Once
half
in a
asleep.
while, I've
when
got
y'all-
mine going.
Oh my
When
gosh.
I'm at home, I've got mine going.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I
Because
love
Nancy's
it.
got one now
I don't know
too.
where.
I love it. The laser. I love
Yeah,
it. How amazing.
yeah. I've got the portal too, but I've got it in a bag, and I'm always carrying it with me because if my
Uh-huh.
grandkids get into it,
I
ooh,
love it.
yeah, yeah.
No, it's amazing. Y'all are going to have to tell people about that shortly. Like, how can you get these lasers and how powerful they are? What do they do for the mind, body, and soul? A lot.
Because you and I both, Lindsey, like before I had my portal, I was getting the treatments from Daphne.
Okay, me
And
too. Me
you
too.
had the long distance treatments from Daphne too.
Oh,
'Cause
yeah.
that's the beauty of energy, is that it goes everywhere.
It's
There,
amazing.
there's no limit to it.
That's
And
right.
when we're planning any kind of adventure, like if you're going on an adventure from New York to LA sort of thing, you decide what it is that you want to carry with you.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, for you, faith is very, very important.
Yeah.
You carry that with you where you go.
Mm-hmm.
Daphne and I both the same,
Right.
differently, but the same. I've got my gratitude. I mean, I've got my cards here with me. I'm
I
always
love
carrying.
it.
I mean,
Oh, yeah. I love it. I have some gratitude cards. I have some
and Daphne,
angel cards
because I
too.
didn't know who I was going to be seeing, but I was going to be. Oh yeah, I've got my angel cards. I got my inner cards. I got my swear formation cards. Those are fun.
And your
Because when
crystals.
and right? And those are things that I pack with me everywhere I go. I mean, I've got that keeps me grounded in right grounded
Yes.
uncertainty, because I think that that's what happened. We had this phase where we were going from lockdown, doors open, lockdown, door open, lockdown, door open, and it created a tremendous amount of uncertainty in our lives.
Mm-hmm.
And now that we're more certain that no matter what happens, we are still going to move forward.
Right.
There's a lot of things that haven't changed, but we are more certain that we will move forward in the
Right.
direction of our dreams.
That's right.
I know I am.
I am too.
Me
100%.
three.
Aye,
There is the only thing that will stop me is me,
Mhm.
or a trauma will slow me down,
Mm-hmm.
but it won't stop me
Uh-huh.
because shit will happen.
That's right.
So, and that's
Well,
the
we have to
adventure.
be, we have to be positive too, and continue to be faithful to not only him, but to ourselves, to the universe, to our source. And it's really important. Right now is a huge spiritual time right now, especially in the world. We're in a spiritual warfare crisis, and there's a lot more good than there is bad. And there's some people in the world that don't believe that. And I'm all about positivity, and I know that we've got to go through the challenging times for things to improve and to get better.
Mhm.
And I'm just a very positive person, and just forward is forward. So I'm excited about the energy and all three of us together right now. How exciting is this? Wow.
Well, I know that on November 11th, they are sending out a global meditation for, just positivity to the world. So I'm,
Well, and if we just sit and think for a few minutes about all of the good things
Mhm.
that have happened in the last month, all the good things that have happened in the last 2 months, all the good things that have happened in the last year. Spend 5 minutes writing that down. That's going to remind you of what is possible, because we've been programmed so much, especially in the last 5 years, to be afraid.
Right.
So what would happen if we weren't afraid? What if we operated on the possibility that no matter what we did, everything would turn out to bring us to a great place?
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that where we are now?
Yep.
A great.
Absolutely.
I worked very, very diligently to get here.
Right.
But when I was over there, I didn't think this was possible. And yet, here
Right.
I am. By the grace of
Right.
God, I go. I had faith in me and all of the things that were presented in my life. You know, it's, but not always. And then there's times when I've had the greatest possible pity party. And that's when I reach out to other people for support.
Right.
Right? Who do you have for support in your life when you need that? Who do you have for help in your life when you need that? Those are the things that you need to pack, because you can always buy mosquito spray.
Oh my gosh.
Do you have mosquitoes in Florida?
Oh my gosh. Yeah. And we have all kinds of bugs. I have something that bit me on my leg. It literally scarred me, but I'm going to go to a dermatologist in a couple of weeks and find out what the heck that was. Left kind of a ring, like a circle. Yeah. No, we have all kinds of bugs. Don't remind me.
Okay, so Lindsey, like Nancy was saying, who do you go to for support?
God. I go to God. I trust him always. And that's really my biggest person I go to. My second person I go to is my mom. You know, my mom is a part of my tribe, and I've got a few good friends. I've got one best friend here in Sandestin, and but a lot of times I go to myself. You know, I have to be my own best friend. I'm here by myself, and it's just me, Jesus, and the beach. You know, I'm just now getting out and networking and meeting people, but I think it's really important we become our own best friend, and we trust ourselves, and we trust the spirit of him in us. And that's where my accountability partner comes into play. You know, I have been by myself for a really, really long time. And through this recovery, it's been pretty lonely. And, you know, you got to learn how to be your best friend and dust off your knees and pick yourself back up again and decorate your own soul. You know, buy yourself your own flowers and decorate your own soul. There's a saying, there's a beautiful quote out there: instead of waiting for somebody to bring you flowers. And yeah, I'm my own best friend. So I would say God first, me, and then my mom. And I do have some really good friends. So yeah, it's been an interesting journey, that's for sure. You know, do y'all notice as you get younger, your friend chain changes, it shifts, right? Because your paradigm is shifting where you are and the spectrum of where you are on your journey. And so a lot of my friendships have changed, like have really shifted this last year. It's been real interesting. How about y'all?
Nancy?
Oh, there's been a shift in the the people that are more, oh, spirit's showing me what they are, but I can't find a nice word to put it. All of the people that aren't really your friends, the acquaintances. There,
Yes.
nice. I found a nice word. They were actually showing me squids, and well, just those people that like they're putting their feelers out all the time, like, oh, I really wish we could spend more time together. Oh, and they're the ones that you meet at the funeral. You know, you see them at the funeral, like, oh, I haven't seen you since the last funeral. Like my phone number has been the same since the 80s.
It's really sad, isn't it? You know, I have noticed that there's just a lot of users. I'll call them leeches, and they don't add to my purpose and my passion. And that's okay. You wish them well and you just move on, you know, because we're all going to shift and change according to our dynamics with our journey and what our birthright is. You know, a lot of us don't know what our birthright is. A lot of us are just on this beaten path and just like aiming aimlessly, you know. And a lot of people are very directed, very focused, very narrow-minded thinking on their journey. And you know, I just say to each his own, but I really think that more people should tap into their personal power. I mean, I can't emphasize it enough. We have the power in us to be anything that we want to be. And it's really our choice. But most of us have become lazy, or we're exhausted from life, just doing life, you know, or we're just kind of restarting our bearings again, like, so to say, like the little choo-choo who thinks they can to get going again on our path.
I was going to ask you, Lindsey.
You're very accurate.
I was going to ask you,
Yeah.
what would you suggest then? How can people tap into their power?
Well, you know, you guys mentioned earlier, you know, you can have a coach, you can have an empowerment coach, a mentor. You can, you know, I have a coach. I have two mentors. I have, you know, you can tap into your personal powers with your connections, all connected here in life. And connect with people who are healers. Like Daphne, you're a natural healer, and Nancy, you are too. And more people should be tapping into that and adding that into their journey. It's very impactful. It's very powerful. It's helped me tremendously. And then it helps you just kind of get your focus back, like, you know, where you're headed, where you're going, what you want and what you don't want. But we are people to help people. We are here to help one another, not hurt each other. And I think more people should reach out to their peers or to connections and to network with one another. Like, who do they know, you know, that could possibly help them and their spectrum or their realm of work. You know, you don't get to this place. I did not get to my place just waking up one day and saying, I'm going to be a fitness and model star. I'm going to be all over social media. The world's going to know who I am before I die. I'm going to have a near-death experience and I'm going to let people hear my story. No, I had to go through like healers, and I had to talk to God a lot, and I had to really heal through the process to get me to where I am now. And you know, I've accomplished a lot. You know, I was working on my resume yesterday. Good gosh, like, what have I not done? I mean, it's 5.5 pages long, y'all. Like, I have been an overachiever. But then I was thinking, oh, I'm not an overachiever. You know what? This was my path. This was my course. I manifested this. It was part of my journey. People like you guys have helped me channel my energy to get there, to go through what it is I'm going through. And I've been so incredibly blessed. So thank you both. I'm just really grateful.
Coaches have coaches. Healers have
Yeah.
healers. I mean, I may have a home, but I've got a mortgage.
Yes. Yeah.
Right. And we have to understand that reaching out for help, reaching out for support,
Yeah.
it's very, very, very important to help you grow. There's so many
It really
ways.
is. And we cannot grow without each other. I mean, we cannot grow without each other. And I think people need to know that about anything in this message right now, a message of hope. You have to help people to help yourself. You cannot gain the knowledge that you learn without having somebody else, because you learn through that. You know, you're just pushing yourself through it, and it helps, you know, expedite to where you're going and where you end up. And you know, it's all about energy. You know, it's all about positive vibes and about faith and really your belief system. And you know, we all just need to really not be so hard on ourselves. You know, it's okay to think about all the stuff and then take a break and just like let it marinate, let it manifest, and then come back and work like the little bees, and then like take a break. You know, we're the queens, right? We're the queens of our life. We're the queens of our journey. I mean, we're the CEO of our lives, especially when you're an entrepreneur. It's really hard. It's really hard to do it all. You've got to have a team. You have to have people who help you. You cannot do it alone. You are not successful without God and without coaches and without people that you network with to help you. My dad said something one time, I'll never forget it. He said, it's not about what you know, it's who you know. It's about who you know. And life is all about who we know. And I feel reflecting on this, like, how did I get here? My connections. I mean, my gosh, I was connected, Daphne, through you with Jeffrey, and through Nancy through you. So that's how we're all three connected right here. I mean, this was connecting. I love it when people say they're afraid of network marketing. I'm not. We're network marketing every day. We're connecting every day. We're networking and selling ourselves every single day, every minute of every second of every hour of every day. Somebody's selling something, pushing something, representing something, sharing something, presenting something. Isn't that the truth?
It's very true. And I want to be able to help people show up in life that are glowing and happy and more happy, more joy, more
Well,
happy.
I am.
There's proof that it works. There's proof that it works. But, I went out for lunch with a beautiful friend of mine. We went to a gorgeous winery here in Kelowna. It wasn't planned. Where do you want to go? I'm like, I don't know. We started driving. She knows the neighborhood. Then all of a sudden, oh, there's this beautiful winery. It's called Frind, Frind. I'm like, I was there, but I was only in the parking lot because Jesse was getting a bottle of wine and we had the kids in the vehicle. So someone had to stay with the kids. She went in, got a bottle of wine. And I was, oh my goodness, I really wanted to go there. How quickly something manifests. And we were enjoying a wonderful view, a wonderful meal. Unfortunately, the staff, they should all get new jobs, except for one man. No, that's not true. There was one man that was doing the wine tasting, Corey. He was amazing. And another lady who was exceptional. But the servers in the restaurant, they look so unhappy.
Oh, isn't that a shame? And that's when you see stuff like that, you just want to kind of go up there and hug those people, right?
Find something that you want to do. I'm holding Elmo.
Passionate about. And if you don't like it, change your job. What is that?
That happy, right? That's how
Yeah.
happy everybody
Yes.
makes me. Elmo happy, right?
Yes.
That's it.
But
Yeah.
a lot of people are just afraid. They're afraid to think outside of their element. They're afraid to try new things. And, that's how I started. I had a job, and my hobby became a full-fledged career. And I had no idea at the time what was happening. But, there's something to be said about being young and not being fearful either. We're kind of not set in our ways, and we're very open-minded and very inquisitive at, 23, 27. So young. Now I'm 52. It's like, oh, no, we got to get out of our own way. Somebody told me one time, get out of your way. And, hopefully those people will find their way, and maybe we're supposed to be an inspiration to them too. And maybe they'll see this video today and they'll be inspired somehow, or something is ignited within them. Like, I really have a dream. It all starts with the dream. What's your dream? You know that song? What's your dream? What's your dream?
Well, and you can still have the job. There's nothing. We all need to make money. I have many, many jobs that I do, but it's how you show up at that job, because there's the ripple effect to the next job. We're all preparing for the next job. We're all preparing for the next adventure.
Yes.
If you show up with a smile, it's going to make a difference, and it may make your day better. It may make somebody else's day better, but you show up with a smile.
Yeah. Attitude of gratitude, girl.
Yeah.
Just be grateful. Hey, they should have a near-death experience. Let me tell you something. That puts things in perspective, right, Daphne?
I don't recommend it. I mean,
no, especially after what happened to you. My gosh. Oh, good Lord. I just, you know what? Moving forward. We're moving forward.
Right? One step at a time.
Yeah.
That's my favorite phrase. One step at a time.
Yeah. And I think too, right now, the audience, it's really important for everybody to know that you have a story, you have a message in the mess, and a test to the testimony. And we're all going through stuff in life, But it doesn't mean you stop. It doesn't mean you quit. You keep going. You live inspired. You get through it. You feel to heal. You recover to rediscover. You find your way. And even though you feel like it's dark and there's no light, the light is coming. You have to believe it. You have to see it. You have to know in your heart, we are not going to give anything that we cannot, overcome. And I think at times it's really hard. Like, it's really, really difficult to see the light, but it will shine again. And it's really important that you do what you're passionate about. And if not, shift gears, shift over in this lane. You don't have to stay stuck. That's a choice. Yeah.
It's funny. I used to work, I had a job, a job working at a bank. And I used to tell people, do what you love and the money will come. And I never did. but like you doing the hobby, I did the hobby of making jewelry and making earrings. And then I, started a business called Daphne's Healing Hands.
I love it.
It just, it rolled into doing its own thing and creating other things. And yes, so like I said, like you, Lindsey, it just evolved and hi.
And some things won't work out and they won't transpire into what you hope. And so you kind of like get that out of the way and go over here and move over to this one. Well, you created a shoelace. It didn't work out. All right, I'm going to reinvent this shoe, whatever it is, Yeah. Listen, we're creative people. We can do anything we put our minds to, but we have to have the willing desire.
And Nancy's got a 30-day creativity challenge going on right now.
Actually. Oh, really?
Create Everyday Challenge.
Oh, I love it.
Everyday Challenge. Create something, take a picture of it, write a post about it, tag me, tag Exponential Joy, and you'll win.
I love it. That's amazing.
Local. And then there's international prize. Because we can just make something every single day.
Absolutely.
Make a meal. Make a meal, share a meal.
Right.
But when you start to feel, when you're stuck in your own muck, when you start to feel sorry for yourself, do something for someone else.
Yes. And we were talking about that earlier. Yeah. When you shift gears and you shift it on other people, you take your focus off of you. It's really amazing the magic that you can create within. And not only that, within somebody else, it just brings so much joy. And I'll honestly say when I launched that Live Inspired through Faith and Fitness, I passed out bracelets on the beach. I was shifting my focus from the tragedy to the triumph and just helping other people, from illness to wellness. And I really didn't realize that message until recently, until last year. But, you have to shift your energy. You have to shift your focus when you're down in the dumps. Listen, we all get depressed. Not everything is sunshine and roses. I don't want to create a rosy picture like every day's been amazing here. I've really gone through some stuff in the last 3 months that have been truly the most heart-wrenching and challenging thing that I've ever gone through. And I have to keep believing, and it doesn't even have to do with a professional level. It's personal, with personal relationships. Mm-hmm. And it's really been something else, but I choose me. At the end of the day, I choose my happiness. I choose my joy. I choose to believe and know that I'm a great person. It has nothing to do with me and everything to do with them. And if it doesn't add to my joy, change is indicated. I can't stay there. It's staying stuck in a place that I'm not loved, wanted, accepted. I feel worthless, not enough. No. I am a high vibrating person because I am a child of him. He is one in me and I am one in him. I choose to move forward and just redirect my attention. And that's the same thing what people need to do with their professions. If they don't like what they do, change is indicated. Nobody's holding you there. You're not caged in. You're not a prisoner of war. You're a prisoner in your own mind if you choose to stay there. It really is about choice at the end of the day.
Absolutely. Take a course.
Yes, I'm constantly taking certifications and courses and learning. Like with your challenge, how amazing. If somebody's down in the dump, that would just like lift up their spirits and pop them out of what it is they're going through. And
I did it for 90 days. I did the create every challenge for 90 days, and I wrote every single day. And I've got, like I said, I've got enough
I
for
love it.
several books. Now I just have to fine tune it a lot.
Right.
That's
Hey,
okay.
listen, if it was that easy for everybody to write a book, everybody would be a bestseller, right?
Yeah. Well, and it's moving through all of those challenges because in the art of writing memoir, you're going backwards. And
Yeah.
that was a real challenge for me because I am so centered in my mindset of here and now and my future that to go backwards all the time was draining and
Yeah.
irritating. I would get angry because of all the decisions that I made that didn't serve my destiny, but they did serve my
Yeah.
destiny because here I am.
Right, right.
So it was that working through forgiveness and acceptance and all those things that I coach people on,
I love
and
that.
then finding that I was using my own advice. Like one of the things that I will tell people if they're struggling, I can't afford it, I don't have enough time to work with you through that. I remember coaching a lady that she did a lot of laundry, and I do a lot of laundry too. And I'm like, well, stop doing laundry. Don't do laundry.
Right,
Like,
right.
just
Hire a
don't wear.
maid.
No, no, no. Wear all the clothes that you've got until you don't have any clothes anymore.
Oh, I
And
see.
then, yes, like, yeah, that smells good. I can still wear that again. There's so many ways that you can creatively work through. I mean, start mealing together so that I'll create. Daphne and I do this. I'll create meals. I
Uh-huh.
love to cook, and I cook for me. And then I'll
Uh-huh.
freeze portions. Then
Uh-huh.
Daphne will do the same thing, and then we'll trade meals.
Oh, I love that. That's a great idea.
Yeah, meal trading.
Like swapping recipes too. I love that.
Yeah, there's so much that we can share that doesn't cost any more than what we're already doing. But if we keep on doing the things that aren't bringing us happiness, that's very costly
Uh-huh.
because the trauma will come.
Mm-hmm.
If you aren't the change maker in your life, the trauma will come to change you.
Well, exactly. And that's how we heal. We heal through that trauma. That's what's really happened with me, and it's still healing. And it's just been, it's like this, the ebb and flow of whoops. There we go. The ebb and flow of life, and it's life stuff. And I think that we just need to be a little bit more gentler to ourselves. It's okay to take a day off. It's okay to cry. It's okay to sleep in bed all day, but just don't stay in that dark place. Get up and do something more productive. And, you know, tomorrow or the next hour is going to be a better day.
One step at a time.
That's right.
I agree.
Well,
And it's okay to self-soothe. And that's where we were talking before, where when you're able to regulate your own feelings and emotions, you know that you're in a better feeling place. And that's what we're always aiming for is a better feeling place.
yes.
And then once we get to that better feeling place, then we're looking for a better feeling place.
Right. No, it's so true. It is so true.
Being contentment and stagnation are the equivalency to death in my world.
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
content.
familiarity breeds contempt, and a lot of people just like to stay in that familiar
So now what
place
can I
because
do?
it's comfortable.
Yeah.
It feels comfortable. Well, hey, listen, y'all, I'm going to have to wrap it up in about 5 more minutes. I've got another call, and then I got to get to bed. I'm so sorry. I was just looking at their
The
time. Yeah, my
the
time change and change. Yeah, and I've got
what
Huh.
adventure are you planning for now? What adventure are you planning?
Well, my biggest thing is my self-published book. And it is a miracle in the making, and it's time to stop manifesting it and start writing it. So I've got to sit down, pen to paper, and overcome that fear. And I'm dreading it because it's a lot to relive something that you've experienced all over again. And it's going to have to be really laser focused to not get too consumed into too much of what happened. Just keep it to the point so that it's the premise of the book.
Mm-hmm.
But the premise of the book is overcoming. But people need to know what happened. You can't write a story without not knowing what happened. I'm sure, Daphne, you can understand this. It was real painful for you reliving it, writing it, and it's like you just want to race through that chapter, and I'm stuck on chapter freaking 2. Like, what happened? What didn't happen? What didn't happen? And I'm really glad that you asked me, because it's you know, it's a I don't know. I don't want to write it, but God says, no, you're going to write it. And
and God's going to keep on bringing you to difficult challenges to help you. It's always a help. Like you said, God never gives us more than we can handle.
yes, yes.
So you'll find that certain things will happen, and you'll look back and go, oh, that's why. Okay, I get it.
So I've taken the next 2 months off to just really sit down and marinate and manifest that, and along with, you know, with falling in love. I want to fall in love, and you know, I have to really be focusing on that. That's something I've never been focusing on. I've been so driven with my careers and my passion my whole life that I haven't really given that a lot of thought, and so I've made some bad decisions along the way, and no more bad decisions. It's time for me really to create my destiny with that, and manifest a really great love of a lifetime, somebody who's kind and passionate just like me. And it takes a lot of mind set thinking to sit down and really meditate about, like, what do I really want, you know? And it's just a real interesting journey right now with all of it, but I'm really excited. This is the first time I've been reignited and re-inspired in a long time. I've been really pulled at, to be honest. Thank you, Daphne. I've been really pulled at, to be honest, these last 6 months, and kind of my journey was deviated. There was a reason behind the blessing of it all. But no, it's not a business I want to pursue. I'm just, God's got me busy on my coaching, speaking, and writing. That's what I need to do. Coach, speak, write. Coach, speak, write. And whatever that is, you know, I'm taking off 2 months. Like literally Thursday, I wrote, I'm officially retired, y'all. Officially retired. But I had to say that so I could sit down and really manifest love in my life and the passion to write the story, because there's a story waiting to be shared. And people are waiting to hear this story. They've been waiting 6 years, you know, and especially the breast implant illness community. But my story's based more on illness to wellness. I'm not going to really focus in on that and silicone poisoning. It's a very it's amazing what the whole medical world, that is a whole different thing. And I don't want to niche myself into just that category. I want to focus on people recovering. How do you rediscover yourself and your purpose after you've been through a traumatic ordeal? You know, illness to wellness, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, how do you live inspired? People ask me every day, how do you live inspired? How can I not? I saw Jesus at the end of my bed. I saw relatives dancing on the side of my bed, you know, and I lost my breast, and lost one that I was born partially with, and saw them regenerate and rebloom. And, you know, one's still smaller than the other, and I'm not going to have the surgery, but really self-acceptance with all of this. And, you know, I think it's really interesting. People think that life's never going to throw them, you know, curveball. You get ready. Life will throw you many curveballs. The secret is this: not to be so much prepared as to be thankful to go through it, because that's how we become stronger and we become resilient. We cannot grow without not being challenged. We cannot be challenged without change. We cannot change our life course if we do not if we're not giving a life altering change. I mean, we just can't, because it doesn't help us think out of the box. Think about it. If we were positive all the time, if we didn't have that negative or that fail thing that we wanted to do, how would we find success? We couldn't. I mean, it's impossible. You have to have a negative and a positive, right? Mm-hmm. Like that's the law. That's like a magnetic law with even the magnet, right? Right? Like, you know, like attracts like, right? But you've got to have, it's almost like in the body. You have to have good bacteria and bad bacteria. The good and the bad work together. You have to have positive and negative in your life in order to grow, in order to heal, in order to push through. And I'm excited. I'm fired up. This is the most fired up I've been all year. I'm just sitting back and just kind of taking it all in. And however it comes to us, This is my message to people. Take what is given to you with where you are, with what you've got, and be okay with not being okay. It's okay not to be inspired every day. It's okay to not be making money every day. It's okay to hate your job and just try to find something else if that's what you're doing every day. Maybe it's okay to just not be okay. Did I say that? Like, it's
Mhm.
okay. And I think once we accept that and we stop being so hard on ourselves, we give ourselves a little bit of grace. And then we can work through the thresholds of, there's a lot of challenges in life, but that's how we grow. That's how we win. I mean, and winning big, right?
And then we have the choice to make the changes.
Yes, yes, and yes. So I'm
Everything,
excited.
everything that you need for your adventure is inside of you.
Yes, it is. Absolutely. I love it. Thank you. That was very well said. It's
Yeah,
the
and
truth.
it's the truth, and when you begin to doubt that, find a friend who will remind you of how wonderful you are.
Well, I'm
Hi, my
here to
name is
remind
Daphne.
y'all you're so wonderful, and the world is wonderful too. And whoever's listening to this message, remember you matter. You matter every single day, every minute of every moment of every second of your life is a blessing. And when you believe that, you can receive the blessings that are waiting for you in life. And, I believed it. I knew I was going to get well, I knew I was going to recover. I knew it was going to be a long journey. I was very, very sick. I mean, just thinking about it brings tears to my eyes, but I knew that God had a bigger, message for me, and something amazing would come out of not being employed and not working. And, who would have known all of this like 6 years ago if you showed me a crystal ball, and I'd be, golly, Daphne and I've done so much work with that laser thing in the background. And I got to tell people right now, if y'all don't believe in that, that's a magical conduit of energy. Daphne and Nancy too. This is the thing. Like attracts like. Go where your tribe is. If you're looking to seek higher ground and you want to be led, go to the great people that you look up to, that empower you, inspire you, and will help you. And you two are blessings. So I appreciate it. I'm glad. I'm so grateful that I'm blessed by y'all. And yeah, I've been a little quiet. I know, Daphne, you're like, Lindsey, where have you been? I'll call you. We'll talk.
I
It's
look forward to
been,
that.
well, there's been a lot of drama and a lot of
Very
conflict, but there were some hardships I had to go through to get me to where I am right now. I can see clearly now that the rain is gone, and I know what I want and what I don't want. And that's with business professionally and relationships personally. Next,
Perfect.
onward,
good.
upward.
We get a lot of clarity by knowing what we don't want. Once we
Yeah,
know what we don't want, then we just need to find someone that's going to help us a
yes.
little bit so that we can have a map. A
I think
map
so
and
too.
yeah, a map.
Absolutely. I think so too. Well,
Yeah.
thank y'all so much. I'm so
Oh,
glad to
you're
connect
welcome.
with y'all. I'm sorry that I got to run, but I've loved this. And
It's been perfect. Thank you so
I
very
hope so. I
much.
love y'all. I hope
Love
to
you
come, like we all
too.
get together and have like a girls trip someday. Maybe next year.
Maybe
Lots of
maybe
fun.
we could go visit her in Florida.
The beach.
That would
Oh,
be a joy. That would be
yes.
an absolute joy.
It's
Thanks.
really wonderful. I'm a
Thank
definite flip-flop girl. Like I even have like bare feet right now.
Oh, I do too.
I love it. We're so crazy, aren't we?
It's the right kind
All
of
right,
crazy.
love and light to y'all.
Love and light to you too, my friend. Have a
And
wonderful evening. Thank
y'all,
you for
thank you
sharing.
for having me. I really enjoyed myself. This was fun.
You
Thanks for
are
Y'all
saying
look
yes.
great.
welcome. You are welcome. Okay, we'll
Okay.
talk soon. Bye,
Okay. Talk
sunshine.
soon. Bye, love.
So, how are we going to wrap this up, Miss Nancy?
Well, it's been a wonderful event. It's been wonderful. I am always. There's so much about Lindsey that really makes my heart sing. She's humble and enthusiastic at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
There's something beautiful about that y'all. I love the y'all. I just,
Oh,
we
I know.
we learn a lot by the challenges in our life. When we need to move forward, it may take a little bit of effort, but you've got everything inside of you that you need. Everything. You've just got to take that leap of faith sometimes. Step
Yep.
forward in the direction of your dreams, because you got this. You got this.
One step at a time, and there's always people that will walk with you.
Always. Always. Well, thank you, my friend. It has been a blast, and see you
Tune in
soon.
next week. What do we got going next week?
I don't remember. We've got an amazing person.
I don't remember what we got either. It's gonna be amazing. So tune in next Sunday at 7:30. And
Where
then
we have relationships with our parents.
oh, right, with Melissa.
That's next week.
Melissa's gonna be with us next week.
Melissa's
That's
going to be with us next week. You've been helping me manage my relationship with my mom so that I'm able to do this. So,
and I'm honored that you have asked me to be that person to help manage that relationship.
oh, as I'm working on the relationship with, you know what, I was working on the questions for that, and it's so interesting because I'm managing my relationship as a parent,
right,
with my parent, being a grandparent.
Yeah.
I'm so confused lately.
Thank God for Melissa. That's all I have to say.
Right? Well, because I'll wake up in my own bed and I'm not in my own bed. Right? That feeling of not knowing exactly where my feet are, but knowing that I've got everything I need.
Yep.
Right here.
Yep. Beautiful.
Yeah. Everything I need right here. So we will see you next week where we're talking about managing our relationship with our parents.
There you go.
Peace out, my friend. We'll see you next week. Bye.